Hey there, folks. Welcome to day number 5 of the 30 days to 10K, or maybe it's 2K, or maybe it's 5K, or maybe it's no K, maybe it's $500. Whatever your goals are, welcome to day number 5. I'm excited to be the one to be able to teach here today and help you get to whatever your goals are in the next 30 days. Now, I always like to start with this. If you have not listened or watched day number 1, 2, 3, or 4, I want you to please do yourself a favor, a huge self a favor, and pause this, okay? Come back to it after you have completed steps 1 through 4, because I'm telling you right now that what we're going to be working on here today will have no relevance unless you have already done the first 4 classes. Now, as you could probably see, we've had a progression from day number 1, right? We started with just the basics of what are we trying to accomplish here. We started with the mindset. We started with, the success formula that we're trying to build to get you to a place where you can really take your life where you want it to be in multiple areas of your life. This happens to be focused on your business, but as you know, the principles can be used pretty much in anything that you want to apply them to. It can definitely be used. Now, through this last week, we've done a lot. So let's just recap here, because we're on day number 5. So in day number 6 and day number 7, we're going to start getting into more of the details as far as marketing your business, marketing yourself, building a brand for yourself, many of those things. But let's recap where we've been right this second so we can make sure that you have definitely taken the steps to be here, okay? Number 1, we talked about creating that vision, right? Creating whatever your business goals are, having clear, defined, precise, specific goals. Now, we also talked about your purpose, and not just the normal purpose that so many people talk about, like I'm doing this for my family. Everybody does that, right? I'm talking about the selfish part of the purpose. Now, that sounds like a negative word, but in this connotation, it's not, because what I'm talking about is I'm talking about, deep down inside of you. What is it going to do for you? The person that you're going to become by achieving the goal that you have already written, the specific goal, the complete clarity that you have on your goal and your vision, all the way down to the dollar amount that you can earn per hour. We're going to get to that in 1 second. What is it going to do for you? What's it going to do for you? Because once you are in a good position, all of a sudden your skills, your abilities to help other people, they go off the charts. So your ability to help your family naturally progresses. Your ability to help your friends, your extended family, obviously goes to a place that it has never been as soon as you get yourself in the right position. So that's why we focus so much on the purpose and digging as deep as you possibly can, not using the normal, hey, what did this person say their why is, your why should make you cry, all that stuff. It definitely should do all those things, but I'm going a little bit deeper than that. I think it's really important to get deep inside of you to figure out what you really are doing this for. And some of you might even have figured out, hey, my reason's not big enough to even be worried about this. I'm going to stop watching this. I'm just going to continue to fail, or I'm going to continue to just try to figure it out on my own. If that's you, hey, that's totally cool. So we've got the vision. We've got the purpose. We've already written down our goals. We know exactly what they are specifically. We broke down exactly what you feel your value is, all the way to an hourly basis. Now, I want to make sure that I'm clear on this, because I had a couple questions on this. Whatever your income goal was, all you have to do is divide it by 30, right? You're all the way you're to the day. Now, then you divide it by the amount of hours that you are going to apply to your business, right? Or your income goal every single day. Now, some of you, it might be 30 minutes, right? I mean, you've got to do the math on that. I can't do it for you. It's pretty simple to figure out though. So I hope that you already have your set value of what the value that you have to bring to the market to be able to get paid that, because that's really what that is. It's not an internal value for you just to know. It's the value that you must know for a fact that you're at least bringing that amount of value to any conversation that you have, anyone that you talk to in regards to your business, your service, your products, building, connecting, any of that. It has to be at that level. You have to know for a fact that this is worth this amount of time to have this discussion. And if those discussions are not worth that amount of time, you should not be having them, right? If you're doing activities that are not income producing activities, which leads to the next point, which we really focused on yesterday, that massive action, I had you make a list of 10 tasks, right? 10 tasks that you needed to complete. And then we even crunched that down to 3 or 4 of your income producing activities. Now, why did we do that? Why do we focus on that? Because We know what the dollar amount that we have to provide every hour of every day that we're willing to put forth in our business. So if that value, let's say that I put a value on my hourly wage of $100, that means that every single conversation that I have, every single connection that I make, every decision I make in the time allotted to do my business has to have a value of $100 for me to be spending the time to do it. You start to see how this really truly does become a numbers game, not just in the amount of people that you talk to, and we're going to get to that in 1 second, but also in the value in which you hold your personal ability to give back to the society, the marketplace, if you will. What is your value that you can give back to the marketplace, and in turn they will pay you that money? Now here's the thing. Most of the people have the job mentality, and you start thinking, well, if my amount again is $100 per hour, I think I should instantly get that if I work an hour. That's not the way it usually works in this business. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't happen like that, where you get paid for 20 hours and maybe you only put in one. That's the cool thing about this, is you're going to start to raise your value because we've got clear, defined, set vision, goals, purpose. We know exactly how much value we want to bring to the market. We know that the income producing activities are the only activities in the beginning of your business. It is literally the only activities that you should do during this time. And we talked about that. Those type of activities are connections. There are numbers of people that you can get your offer in front of. There are numbers of people that you can have a conversation with about your business. It's the time that you follow up with people who have maybe opted into your website. It's the time that you follow up with people that might have previously told you no, or hey, get back with me in a certain amount of time. It's the connection process, right? It's also going out there and getting new connections, making new friends. One of the biggest things that I see, one of the biggest challenges, and we'll talk about this as we get into the marketing side of it, is when people are marketing their business, or when people are having a conversation or trying to get people interested in their purchasing their products, their services, their coaching, their consulting, whatever it is, oftentimes it is, for lack of a better word, I'm going to throw up on you. Okay, I'm going to shove every single piece of any information that I have up on you, and maybe I just met you. And I always use the analogy of marriage, right? I mean, most of you, I'm guessing, did not get married on your first date. Maybe some of you did. My parents got married 3 weeks into their relationship. They've been married. They're still married today. So I know that it happens, but most people don't get married on their first date, right? That is a time where you have to get to know that person. That's a time that you got to see if you're compatible with that person. And the same exact thing holds true in business. People do business with people they like. They don't do business usually with people they just met, unless it's just a point of destination or a point of convenience. Meaning, like, if someone goes to Cinnabon, right, they're going to buy the Cinnabon because that's what they went there for. They don't need any relationship to Cinnabon. They already know that they love it. It doesn't matter who sold it to them at Cinnabon. It doesn't matter. However, if you go to a car lot, right, and you're looking for cars, oftentimes you will buy a car from the dealer that you most connect with, that you can relate to. So you might go to several different dealerships. You might talk to multiple dealers. You might go back to the same dealership more than one time to talk to the different people each time, and you're going to eventually buy from the person that you like, the person that you can connect with. So I want you to relate that to your business. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that's one of your main tasks, right? That's one of the 3 or 4 tasks that you absolutely have to get out there on a daily basis and connect with new people. Now, the internet has opened up doors that you just can't even imagine possible with being able to connect with people. You've got Facebook, you've got Instagram, you've got Pinterest, you've got Twitter, you've got Snapchat, you've got all these different ways that you can connect with people socially. And there might be some of you out there that maybe you're a little bit, more of a veteran. Maybe you're a little bit older, right? As far as you're not into the social media really, right? You don't even know how to get on Twitter. You don't even know how to get on Facebook. You don't know how to do any of that stuff. Well, guess what? You need to learn. Okay, because it is absolutely the way of the future as far as being able to connect. Even LinkedIn, I mean, it's a huge connection of people that you can connect with, and you're going to have people come out of the woodworks once you put yourself out there. But here's the deal, and here's my whole point. Once you do put yourself out there, whether it be in a social environment in your local town, or a social environment in your community, or social environment online, the rules remain the same. The rules are this: you have to get people to like you first. You have to get people to know you first. You have to show people that you are genuine and wanting to relate to them, rather than, here's my link, sign up. Here's my link, sign up. I see people all the time. I mean, it blows my mind that will just sit there and post their link over and over on Facebook and truly wonder why they can't get any traction with their business. I'm posting it on Facebook. Why are people not signing up? Hey, how about you get out there and connect with some people on a personal level, join some Facebook groups, get to know some people, get some value back to them, right? I mean, the top marketers in this world, the top marketers online and offline, what they do and the reason why they can attract people to them is because of the value that they are bringing to the marketplace. We keep talking about this value, right? We've got the hour value that we know that we must bring to the market. We know that we can't talk or do anything unless it's contributing to that value that we've placed that we want to give back to the market. But guess what? The key component to all of this that I just said is you have to be willing to give back. You have to put something out there that people are going to want to be able to be attracted to. Now, here's the cool thing. We live in such a society that there's so much information, there's information overload coming from all different angles. So you may not have an original thought, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, you may not have an original thought on a subject, or you may not have an original thought on a marketing idea, or you may not have an original thought on something specific to building your business. The great thing is success leaves clues, and there's so much information out there today that you can literally go out there. I mean, let's pretend that you're in a Facebook group and it's about dogs or whatever. You know, I'm just using that as an example. There's so many different articles, there's so many different things that pop up about dogs that you didn't write, you have nothing to do with, that you can share, that you can start a conversation with. Hey, all of a sudden, hey, what type of dog do you have? Well, I have 2 Schnauzers. What do you have? Oh, I have a Doberman Pinscher. Oh, cool. Where are you located? And all of a sudden, I've struck up a conversation, and someone might just say something like this. Hey, you know, I live in Orlando, but I'm actually from San Diego. You know, we still go back there on vacation. Oh, wow. Do you vacation a lot? Man, we're in a dog room, right? We're not in a travel room. I didn't just try to promote my business in someone's face without knowing them. I built a relationship, so that connecting is a huge, huge component of the task that you will be doing every single day. And when we get into this marketing side of it and you begin to build your business, you're going to see more how you can add value without actually having to be the one that did anything. There's so many different things that you can give to people. If you remember, I talked about when I was a stockbroker, I always knew going into any conversation that I knew 95% more than any person out there. And I told you, you need to have that same swagger, right? You need to have the confidence and the understanding and the expectation that you know not more than 95% than anybody else out there on the subject of internet marketing, network marketing, direct selling, even if you don't. Because here's the beauty of this, okay? The beauty of this is you can use other people's tools. You can use other people's information. You can use other people's ebooks. You can use other people's things that you can give people that show the value. Just like when I was telling you about the people that I've listened to, the multimillionaires that I've paid attention to, that's not my stuff, but guess what? Did I share it with you? Absolutely, right? It does nothing but do a good thing for you. So you can see that the value is being added there. And then it comes to the numbers part of it, okay? We're talking specific about those income generating tasks. When you start talking about the numbers are so important, not just on the value that you've already created for yourself. You already have that in your head, but the numbers are going to be the difference between earning a couple $100 or a couple $100,000. That is the absolute truth. Your job in network marketing or internet marketing or anything like that, if you want to call it a job, your task, whatever you'd like to call it, your objective is to get your offer in front of as many people as you possibly can. Now, you want to do that once you've built a connection with them, right? Or once you figure out for sure that they have some type of interest. And by the way, a connection doesn't have to last weeks. I mean, I can make a connection with you in one day and start talking about travel. I have literally had that happen where people, hey man, what do you do? You know, I work with a travel company. We do different stuff, whatever it is. Oh, really? I mean, we travel. Hey, I'm going on my honeymoon. Can you help me out? Well, hey, let me send you a link. Right? I mean, those type of conversations, you would be shocked how often they happen, you know, depending on what product or service you're at. If you're in a health product, It's very easy at the gym, especially if you are in good shape. I think that helps if you're selling a health product. So, some of us out there might struggle with that, but if you've had success with the product that you're selling, you're at the gym, what an easy conversation to have without shoving it down someone's throat. They're going to ask you. People are curious about what you do. People are naturally nosy. Why do you think the internet is as popular as it is? Everybody wants to know everybody else's business. So you're in a good place to be able to do that. So when I start talking about numbers, here's my expectation. Okay, this is just me, and you're going to be able to create your own. But I think the process goes like this. I think for every 100 people. Okay, every 100 people that you get your offer in front of, and by in front of, I'm not talking about sending out an email blast to a bunch of names that you bought off some list that don't know you from Adam, that are probably fake emails anyway. I'm talking about leads that you create on your own, or internal leads, in your local community. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So for every 100 people, I'm guessing, for me specifically, the way it worked was like this. For every 100 people, I would have about 30 to 35 people that were willing to look at what I had to offer. Okay, when I say willing to look at what I had to offer, that means they either opted into a website, or they said, hey, yeah, send me some information, or whatever it is. Okay, and by the way, keep in mind, these numbers actually worked for me as a stockbroker as well. It's unbelievable how similar these type of sales type of businesses work. Okay, so for every 100 people, you're looking at 35% of people are going to be willing to look or have an interest in what you're doing. The other 65 or 70 people, forget them. They're gone. Don't even worry about them, right? You can put them on an autoresponder, and we'll talk about that later, where you can be in front of their face and eventually they might come back and find you. You'd be shocked how often that comes. But when you're focusing, let's just focus on those 35 people for a second, okay? 30 to 35 people. We know out of those 30 to 35 people, they will take a legitimate look at your offer, okay? They'll go through it, they'll take a look. They may not finish the video, or they may not finish the whatever you send them to look at. They might come to an overview call, and they may only stay for the first 10 minutes. And half of them you will never hear from again. That's most likely the case. Or they'll say, hey, it's not right for me. Thank you for the opportunity. It's just not right for me. So now we're down to like a number of 15 people is what we're looking at this point, right? Maybe 10 people, 10 to 15 people that we're looking at. In my experience, out of those 10 to 15 people, you're going to have 1 to 3 people that are going to purchase a product from you. Now, I don't tell you that to be discouraging to you, okay? I don't tell you that at all. The reason why I'm telling you that is it is a numbers game, in the fact that you have to be willing to get your offer in front of as many people as you can. And the only way you can do that is if you're adding value to the market, because the only time anyone's ever going to pay any attention to you is if you're adding some value to whatever they are going for, right? How many times have I said this Zig Ziglar thing? You help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want, right? What a clever statement, and how true it is in any business or any situation out there, not just direct selling or network marketing or internet marketing. It is worldwide a business concept that is so true. So, if you can find that in yourself to understand that, hey, this is a numbers game. And what happens is this: as you begin to build that momentum, all of a sudden, your offer is starting to get in front of multiple people. You're starting to get more people talking to you. And all of a sudden, you have a sustainable, legitimate business that every single day when you walk in your office, that those income producing activities are the only thing you're going to focus on, because you don't have any time, right? Any time to focus on anything else. And what eventually happens, okay, especially if you have a job, this is the coolest thing, that what eventually happens is your income producing activities you can't fit them in. You have so many prospects that you can't work with. You have so many people sign up for your business that you're trying to train that you have no other time to do anything. Eventually, your business starts paying you more than your job starts paying you, right? Your income has overtaken your job, and you're at a situation exactly like I was, where, I was earning mid 6 figures, okay, as a stockbroker, and I had to make a decision to leave a job that I had done for a decade, to leave a job that had health insurance, that had life insurance, that had benefits, 401ks, all those things, but also had me strapped to a desk and had me strapped to a economy that I could not control, had me strapped to, dealing with the stress of, is the market going up tomorrow? Is it going down tomorrow? Banks were getting bailed out by the government at that point in time. There was so much going on. So for me, it was a very simple decision. It was hard in that it was a big life-changing decision. But see, folks, I'm gearing you up to that's where you need to be. That's where you should want to be. If you, maybe you love your job, maybe you just want this to be part-time. And I think that all depends on the income level that you're wanting to get at. So my whole point on this is we have our vision. You've made the decision, especially if you're still watching this and you're doing the activities that I ask you to do. You have your vision complete. You know exactly what your purpose is. You've made a decision 100%. And now we're into the massive action of getting it done, right? Vision, decision, massive action. When that happens, all of a sudden you start producing results. And this entire week, I mean, this is day number 5 of 30. And we haven't talked about posting one ad. We haven't talked about one single part of marketing. We have not talked about anything except for building a solid foundation for you and your family. And here's what I can tell you with 100% certainty. For those folks who skimmed through this, for those folks who watch half of number 1 or maybe 10 minutes of the other one, and they did not buy into this mindset part of it, getting their mind in the correct way, getting their vision so crystal clear that it makes so perfect sense that you can't even, you're dying to get out of bed. You don't even want to go to sleep because you're excited about what you're doing. Your purpose is so deep. Hopefully these exercises got you to really dig deep inside of you to find that purpose that is so deep, your selfish purpose, that you know for certain that when you become the person that you want to become, when you become the leader that people want to follow, that you're going to be able to achieve your goals, right? And we've got the decision made, absolutely 100% clear, made in our mind that this is going to be the way that we do it. We know all the way down to the hour what our value that we're going to be bringing to the market is. And we know that next month it's going to be even higher than that. Next month it'll be higher than that. And eventually, if you want to, you're going to be able to make whatever decision you want in your life, meaning that if you want to walk away from your job, you can. If you want to keep that job, you can. If you want to travel, you get to travel when you want. If you want a new car, you go buy it. If you want to take your family out to eat or on vacation, you do it. Right? Those are the things that I'm talking about. Those are the type of freedoms that you want in your life. But I can promise you this, all this other stuff that we're going to be talking about as we go forward in this this program is the least important part. The marketing, the traffic, getting traffic to your website, getting traffic to you, going out there in your local communities, building the business, those things, I promise you, are the least important thing of this entire process. In fact, if I stop at day 5, you have enough right this very second. If you were to rewatch these every single time and do exactly what I told you to do, you basically have the success formula in front of you. That's all it takes, because here's the deal. Once you make a decision and you focus on whatever it is that your decision that you have is made, right? And you put a meaning to it, you understand what it means exactly to you, what it means to you and your family, then all you gotta do is take action. And once that happens, synchronistically, things start to happen. I mean, you are going to be shocked. I mean, I literally went from making a few $1,000s to making over 6 figures every single month, almost overnight. That is the honest truth. I mean, almost overnight is what it felt like. Now, it took me a long time to get there. It took me tens of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of marketing dollars. But guess what? When I got crystal clear on what I wanted, when I stopped worrying about what everybody else was doing and started worrying about what I needed to do for me personally to get me in the correct mindset to take it to the next level. When I got a mentor, which is what really helped me break through, I had 2 really big mentors in my life that helped me push through that and get me to the place where I needed to be. When all those things happened, I was playing at a level that I couldn't even imagine, 6 months prior to that. I was focusing on the right things. I was making the right moves. I was doing things the way that it should have been done from the very beginning. And as I told you, this process that we're doing here together is something that's allowed me to get back to some of those basics as well. Because here's the deal. As you begin to have success in your business, as you begin to have success in your life, sometimes, and you might realize this, oftentimes when people have success, they go away from it at some point, right? They forget what they started with in the first place, what got them to that place. They forget about that because they've had that success. So they start trying to change the script. And here's the deal. This is one part of the script that will never change for you, okay? You need to always be growing as a person. You need to always be growing your mind. So I'm going to ask you this. I've told you this every single day. Did you take your 15 minutes to 30 minutes today to already fill your mind with something? Did you? Outside of this program, did you take 15 or 30 minutes to do it? If you didn't, I mean, here's a huge clue for you. Here's a huge hint why you may be broke, why your business may not be working, because you can't do a simple task. 15 to 30 minutes. Every single person on this watching this today, you have 15 to 30 minutes. I don't care what you say. Stay up 15 minutes later than what you normally do. Get up 15 minutes earlier. It is 15 minutes of your day to fill your brain, and all of a sudden you're going to be shocked when it turns into 30, and then it's going to turn into an hour. You're going to be like, man, I've got to shut this down. I'll have to do it tomorrow. You're going to get so excited about what you can create with your own mind and what you can do inside your business. You're going to be giddy. As I said, you are going to want to take things. You're not even going to want to go to sleep because you're going to be so excited about building your business. So with that being said, here's what I want to do, okay? We've got the success formula. We've got your mind hopefully in the right spot. Now, I'm going to tell you something, though. Even though these principles have been given to you, even though you know the path as far as, the creation, I'm not going to go over everything that we've done again, okay? We know what that is. And the reason why I went over it every day is because I want to drive it in your head, because it has to be an everyday process. As we go into the next week of this, okay, we're on day number 6 tomorrow. As we start to go into some of these marketing techniques, as we start to go into some of these branding techniques, as we start to go into some of these things that help you build your business both offline and online, it's going to be so crucial to your success that you still work on the things that we're talking about every single day. That vision that you wrote down, okay? The goals that you wrote down, the purpose that you wrote down, all those things, you need to have them in front of you where you can see them. Now, I showed you, I don't know where I put the picture back over there. I showed you what my purpose was. It was my family. I showed you that picture, right? I looked at that every single day. It still sits in my office to this day. It's sitting right there. And every single time I get up and leave my desk, I see that picture sitting there, right? You need to have a reminder. You need to be able to read every single day what your vision is, especially in this crucial 30-day period where we're changing your habits from focusing on all the negative crap, from focusing on the being broke, from focusing on the being in debt, to changing that mindset, to not focus on that, to focus on what you want, what you truly want, what your selfish purpose is going to actually take you to be able to get to what you want. I'm excited for you as we move into the next segment of this. And I can't stress enough that your mind throughout this entire process, throughout your entire career, will be the absolute most important thing, most important skill that you can possibly ever master. If you can master this, you can create anything that you want in your life. And that's not even talking about network marketing or internet marketing or direct sales. As I said, these principles can be related to any aspect of your life: health, wealth, romance, spiritual, whatever it is, you can definitely relate it to that, okay? So I want you to take what we've done here over the last 5 days, maybe even if you have time, recap your notes. Make sure that you have everything exactly the way you need it. As we step into the next phase of this, you need to have those in mind. You need to understand them, because there's going to be some things that we're talking about inside of your marketing, inside of your branding, inside of getting your business out there, that you absolutely are going to take some of this information and be able to relate to other people and begin to connect with other people. Okay, so just keep that in mind, and also keep an open mind as we go into this. Some of this stuff, as I told you, if you remember on day 1, I told you there's going to be some stuff that we do. There's going to be some information that we share, and you're not going to understand why. Just understand it's part of the process. You don't need to know the why. You just need to know that you need to do it in order to be able to get to where you want to get to. So I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I do want to mention one thing. I will send out the schedule for the training tomorrow and Sunday, but I want you to keep in mind something. I want to break this monotony. A lot of what we're doing here, I don't want to be sitting at this desk every single time is what I'm saying. So I will most likely be shooting some videos outside or things of that nature to kind of break it up. So some of them may not be completely live. I might record some and actually upload them. It'll still be on pangeabuilder.com, but I will send out the schedule for Saturday and Sunday. You will have that. You will be able to come and view it regardless whether it's live or recorded. We'll see how that works out, but I will definitely keep you updated on that. I appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. I hope this is helping you. I hope this opened up your eyes. Like I said from the very beginning, my goal is to be in someone's testimony, to help be something that was a defining moment in your career where you can look back and say, man, I remember when I attended that 30-day challenge and it changed my life. That's what I want for you. Have a great weekend. Thank you for taking the time to come out, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.